All right, what is going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for tuning in on this Friday afternoon. I'm recording just before 5 p.m., so really appreciate you guys taking some time to join the show. We got a couple things to get into today. This morning, we got Jared Vanderbilt, who got an extension with the Lakers. Did the Lakers overpay? I'm going to throw that out there. And then also all the flexibility that Rob Pelinka's kind of created for the Lakers, I think makes things interesting as the season progresses. So we're going to get into all that. And then one quick little thing, I saw a story a little bit earlier today. Golden State Warriors might sign former Los Angeles Laker champion Dwight Howard. So I'll get into that as well. So thank you for being a part of the show. Please subscribe to the channel. Let's get started here. So saw this morning. This came in. So the Lakers extend Jared Vanderbilt 4 years, $48 million contract. So I'm going to get into the actual, I'll get into just the terms of it first. Okay. So kind of look at Jared Vanderbilt, what he brings to the table. And then I got some thoughts on the actual contract. So came out earlier today. I'm reading an article right now. Shams Charania of The Athletic, one of his stories. Agree to terms, 4-year extension worth $48 million. Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul and agent Erica Ruiz said. There's a little article here of here's what you need to know. In 78 games with the Lakers and the Jazz last year, Vanderbilt averaged 8 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. Played 24 games for the Lakers, obviously. After the trade deadline, was a key defender for the Lakers, and I thought really brought kind of a different dynamic. There are a lot of times Lakers were matching him up. Hey, you go guard Luka the entire game. You go guard Ja Morant or Steph Curry. So I thought that was always unique the way the Lakers were using Jared Vanderbilt, but that's his skill set. That's kind of what he does, what he brings to the table. So it was obviously a smart idea to use him that way. He's 24 years old. 5 teams since he was drafted number 11 back in 2019. The deal is fully guaranteed with a player option in the 4th year. So there's kind of the story on Jared Vanderbilt. Obviously, the Lakers recently signed Christian Wood. I'm just talking about some of the front court players. You're going to have Anthony Davis. You're going to have Jackson Hayes is going to be there as well. LeBron, I'm sure, is going to play down low every once in a while. And then you got Jared Vanderbilt. So Lakers got some options. They're depth like crazy, which I'm going to get to in just a second. But Vanderbilt signs 4 years, $48 million. Okay. That's just kind of the details of it. Got to be honest. I was a little surprised. I was surprised. Maybe I think what threw me off a little bit was I didn't know that was in the talks or that was expected or that was, if the Lakers just decided, let's just play out Jared Vanderbilt's final year of his contract this year, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I would think that, okay, that probably makes a lot of sense. Play out his contract. Let's see how he does and then figure it out after this. And then the dollar amount kind of comes into play here. Again, I'm just going to give my honest opinion. Sounds like a lot for Jared Vanderbilt. $48 million for Jared Vanderbilt. And 4 years guaranteed, and the last year is a player option. I like his age. I like what he brings to the table. I like that he's a defensive-minded guy. I like that he's one of those players that kind of a grit guy that's good to have on your squad. But I'm surprised they committed that much to Jared Vanderbilt. For, I guess you can call it, the lack of he's not really a threat at all on offense. You saw that in the playoffs. There were a lot of times where you kind of couldn't have Jared Vanderbilt out there because he wasn't a threat on offense. So all of a sudden, Rui was getting a lot of time or whatever the case is. So I was a little surprised by the guaranteed years and surprised by the amount of dollars that Jared Vanderbilt is going to get. Now, I know it's not apples to apples, but let me just give you a quick idea or a quick example. Do you think Jared Vanderbilt's more valuable or do you think Austin Reeves is more valuable? Of course, we all agree Austin Reeves is more valuable. He's only making 4 years, 54, 56, whatever it is. So those numbers aren't all that far apart. Now, the way today's NBA works, look, the what the floor used to be, what $5 million a year in the NBA used to be, it's not the same anymore. What $10 million in the NBA a year used to be, it's not the same anymore. So I'm not going, telling you that Jared Vanderbilt doesn't have value. What I'm saying is I was a little surprised that Jared Vanderbilt got a 4-year commitment from the Lakers, and then obviously also the terms of $12 million a year, $48 million. Good for him. Go make your money. That's another Rich Paul clutch sports type of move. They're taking care of their guys, and the Lakers have obviously done a pretty good job of having that relationship, of course, with Rich Paul, LeBron, and the rest of the crew there. To just kind of simplify this, you agree with me? Were you surprised at all that Jared Vanderbilt got that kind of a commitment? Were you surprised that he got 4 years? Again, it's not a knock on Jared Vanderbilt. It's more just I'm surprised. I was surprised that it happened. I'll tell you, what I think is the most important thing when you do look at Jared Vanderbilt. I'm going to go back to this. He's 24 years old. A lot of times, a lot of this stuff, 4 years down the road, he's going to be 28. So I think a lot of that just has to do with where he is in his career. I think a lot of that has to do with just how young he is, how many more years he's going to play in the league. And I think the Lakers don't see much risk in this because of that. So I think that has a lot to do with it. Now, what you do have, and it's something to keep in mind, is you got a lot of guys right now, and I sent out a tweet a little bit earlier today. What Pelinka has basically built with this team and with this roster, aside from LeBron James and Anthony Davis, he went out there and made sure that the role players for the Lakers were all locked up. They're locked up at the right age, and I think they're all locked up at reasonable contracts. Look, I might look at the Vando contract and say, wow, I didn't know 4 years, $48 million was going to Jared Vanderbilt. But when you're 24 years old, you play defense, you could pick up guys full court, you can grab rebounds, and again, your age, you're only 24. Most teams in the NBA, if they took on a contract like Jared Vanderbilt, that's not going to hamstring them. That's not going to be a contract where they're like, oh my gosh, what the hell do we do with this contract? That's not the case at all. And I mention that because precisely, literally, what Rob Pelinka did this offseason was to make sure that there was no contract that he brought to the books that the Lakers are going to look at in a couple years and say, we're screwed because of this contract, number one. Or number two, if another team went out there and said, hey, we're interested in that player, or hey, Lakers, you're interested in one of our guys. All right, we got some players that you have on your contract that it makes it easier to move guys around, and these don't look like bad contracts. So let me kind of go down the list here. Jared Vanderbilt's 24 years old. He's making $12 million a year. That's not the end of the world in the NBA. Rui might be the only one that I actually look at out of these deals and say, okay, he's got some proving to do, but he's only 25 years old. He's 6'9". He's got the perfect NBA body. He's got a lot of upside, but he's making $17 million a year. Remember, his deal was 3 years, $51 million. D'Lo, 18 a year, but it's basically 1 year guaranteed. D'Lo's got the option in the second year. He's only 27 years old. Austin Reeves, $14 million per year. He might be the best value contract in the NBA. And oh, by the way, he's only 25 years old. And then Gabe Vincent making 11 a year. He's 27 years old as well on a 3-year contract. Whether you love all the role players that the Lakers have, whether you have some question marks about the Laker role players, whether you feel like the Lakers got a great deal here or overpaid a little bit there, what I can tell you is the Lakers have so much flexibility, and Pelinka's built so much flexibility for this team that each one of these guys that I named off, I'm not naming off the Jackson Hayes and the Cam Reddishes and some of those other contracts, Taurean Prince, because a lot of those are just 1-year deals or they're minimum, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. Christian Wood, another one of those players. But those 5 contracts specifically that the Lakers put out money for this offseason, you could take all those contracts. Imagine what Russell Westbrook and what, let's say, Patrick Beverley were for the Lakers last year. Add up all these contracts, and you're around that level. The Lakers were able to get young. I mean, every player that I just mentioned is between 24 and 27. Very, very young in the NBA, and not young to where they got no experience, But a lot of these guys either walking into their prime or they got the best of their basketball in front of them. And you got players that obviously are going to be able to compete for some playing time, some stats, and then hopefully for the Lakers competing for an NBA championship. So the flexibility is there. Lakers side, Jared Vanderbilt. I'm going to go back to what I said. I was a little surprised by the amount of years and him getting 48 mil. But I guess as I kind of talked through this, when you're only 24, you play defense, you can grab rebounds, you're going to have a home in the NBA, and the Lakers clearly feel that. So if you guys get any thoughts on any of that stuff, feel free to put it on the comments below. Okay, last thing that I want to get into. I thought this was interesting. Dwight Howard to the Warriors. So let me read something off here. This is per Shams Charania, the Athletic. The 8-time All-Star will meet with the Golden State Warriors next week. We all know that Dwight Howard, obviously a former NBA champion with the Lakers. He was a part of that 2019-2020 season. Then he was again part of the Lakers 2021-2022. Let me actually finish reading the article. I'm going to give my thoughts here. The Golden State Warriors lost to the Los Angeles Lakers in the playoffs last year for a few different reasons. One of those reasons is they didn't have any size. They didn't have any big men. And the Lakers were able just to feast off them. Kevon Looney's a nice player. He's a great hustler. I give him all the credit in the world. But he can't hold down the fort by himself. Draymond Green can play big, but he's not a big. And the Lakers just were able to throw so much size. LeBron, Anthony Davis, Rui, Jared Vanderbilt. They just had, even their guards were big. D'Angelo's a big guard. They just had Austin Reeves. They had so many other players that they were able to use as far as their size goes that it really kind of gave the Golden State Warriors such a disadvantage. It's the only reason why, not the only reason, one of the main reasons why the Lakers beat the Warriors. I remember, Michael Thompson, who I do the pregame show with on the Lakers broadcast, he does the play-by-play with John Ireland. I remember after game one, John Ireland and him are, reacting right before I'm going to do the post-game show. And John said something to the effect, and Michael Thompson's son, Klay Thompson, plays for the Warriors. John said something to the effect, Lakers stole game one. He said something like, what will the Warriors do in game two? And he said, well, unless they can get taller and bigger, they got no way of competing with the Lakers. And he was right. Lakers ended up winning that series in 6. But we all know the history that Dwight Howard has with the Los Angeles Lakers. Really the last game that he played in the NBA was with the Lakers, the 2021-2022 season. 6.6 rebounds a game. I think played about 60 games for the Lakers. To be honest with you, I was very, not shocked, but I was surprised he didn't end up with another team. And I'm not telling you Dwight Howard is still playing at a Hall of Fame level, but I thought even with the Lakers, he was still grabbing rebounds. He was still playing defense, and he was just a big body that you could have out there to give you 15 minutes a game or whatever the case is. So that's the only thing that I think of the Golden State Warriors trying to do is understanding how undersized they are. Really didn't address their lack of size. Would they go out and get Chris Paul in the offseason? Well, that doesn't address it. I think they got Dario Saric as well. Okay, that's not going to address it. Even though he's a bigger guy, that dude's always injured. And really he's not known for being a banger or anything like that. But don't be surprised if you see former Laker, former champion Dwight Howard playing for the Golden State Warriors this upcoming year. It's funny. I'm reading this article that was out there. Bleacher Report's got an article out on as well. The 37-year-old enjoyed a terrific season with 23 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, was named to T1 League's most valuable import, made the All-Star team. That was for the Taiwan basketball team, whatever league that was that he was in. So Dwight Howard could make a return back to the NBA, and we'll see how that all shakes out. Obviously in the Western Conference, and the Lakers got a lot of familiarity with him. So no real big surprise there. If we see him, we know what to expect from Dwight Howard. But he is 37 years old, so it's not like the guy. He's in crazy shape. Dwight Howard's physique, I know you guys who are watching right now are saying, hey, Al, you and Dwight Howard got a lot in common, right? I know that's what you guys are thinking in your mind right now. Dwight Howard, Alan Sliwa. So I could see just physically on just just what the body structure looks like. So I get it. Our games are a little different. I could shoot more from the outside. He can't, but just our actual physicality. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Laker fans, NBA fans, appreciate you guys being a part of the show. That's all I got for today. I'll continue to put up Lakers content. Anything I think you guys are going to like, we're going to put it up. Quick recap of today's video. Vando gets an extension, 4 years, $48 million. Did the Lakers overpay? I was a little surprised. I thought it was a very healthy contract. Let's just put it this way. I'm proud of Jared Vanderbilt and his agent that he got that money. Good for him. Palenka's created unbelievable flexibility for the Los Angeles Lakers. I think that will come to benefit the Lakers down the road. And then the last thing was Dwight Howard and potential signing with the Golden State Warriors, and how him and I share the same physicality and body frame. Okay, that's all I got. Hope you guys have a good upcoming weekend. Go enjoy that college football. Everybody's talking about Deion Sanders. Everybody talking about college football. Go enjoy the college football. We'll see if we get back before Sunday or so, but we got some great NFL games as well. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your Friday.